Hello everybody, it's Dana and welcome back to my channel. I wanted to start kind of a new series on my channel. I've been trying to do a lot of different types of videos lately, just trying to see like what my niche is, like content that I would enjoy making. And even though I would love to be one of those artists that like does kind of like those list videos where they just draw a bunch of pictures and they make points and stuff like that, I feel like I'm the type of artist to do talking point videos. So this specific video is about, well, this series is mainly about things that I struggle with as a young artist. And for those of you who don't know, I am 17. So some people would consider that old, some people would consider that young. It really doesn't matter. But as an amateur artist, as an artist who is trying to get better and eventually work on bigger projects and trying to make a career out of this, I am an amateur artist. And I wanted to start the series because I feel like a lot of younger artists that that are like just starting, and obviously I'm not the best, but I do know there's a lot of people who are just starting to draw or do art or do any sort of thing, and it always seems like everyone's already better than you. Like, for some reason it always feels like you quote unquote started late. Like, even for me, I feel like I started late on YouTube or something, which is ridiculous because there's no better time to start than right now. So this series is just going to be me trying to open up about things that I've struggled with as an artist, things that I want to get better at, and just to show that all artists are not perfect. Even if you have a favorite artist or artist's work that you think are really good, they always struggle with something, and sometimes we don't see that, especially on social media. So I wanted to make a series where I talk about my own flaws as an artist, not only to be encouraging for younger artists or artists that are just starting out, but also to humble myself. So this first video is, I am an artist that struggles with backgrounds. Now, I know this is not a unique situation. I hear my art teacher talk about all the time, young artists always focus on the foreground and completely ditch the background. So this isn't a new topic, but I feel like it really plagues my art as for what I'm trying to do. I'm the type of artist that likes to tell stories with my art. I started drawing because I wanted to tell stories first and foremost. When I was younger, I wanted to be a writer, and then as I found a passion for art, then I became somebody who wants to do storybooks, who wants to do animations, who wants to do comics, etc. And basically my art is a way of how I tell stories. And a big part of stories, if you didn't know, are settings. It's very easy to get wound up in like character design and creating your characters and making convincing stories that you completely forget that you also have to build a believable world. And I've always known I had to do that. It's just I never really buckled down and forced myself to work on my backgrounds, which is a part of the issue. Like, in my mind, I can see like where they would be, but physically it's hard to draw just because buildings are completely different from drawing humans, especially if you started drawing humans and that's like what you're good at, and then you're already quote unquote established as an artist. You kind of found your style, you're very comfortable with how you draw, and then now it's time to learn a whole new skill, and you still have those same expectations of when you draw in your comfort zone, but now you're not in your comfort zone anymore. So that's what I've been struggling with, but I'm also been really trying to get better at it. So you'll see on the screen now, like the art that I'm doing, this piece was originally for like another video that I was gonna do, but it was not working out because I wanted to use it as a way to like practice my backgrounds and drawing settings, but like trying to make a video every week but still have the same caliber of work just does not work. But I did finish this and I still liked it, but it's just the whole process, not that it was painful, but it was pretty stressful in my opinion. My past struggles with backgrounds was that if I did a background that also included a foreground, the background would swallow the character and the character would no longer become the focus of the piece, which I really don't like because my characters are the focus of the piece. That's what I've worked really hard to create: good characters, create good character designs, the poses, etc., etc. So if the attention is taken away from that and going to something that I'm not as confident in, I take issue with that. But I decided a way I could combat this was to make my backgrounds more painterly instead of have my harsh black outlines that I usually do. So that's what you'll see me doing now. You can see me like painting the bread. And so this worked for a while. I have two specific drawings that I remember using this more painterly style on that I really like the effect. But for some reason, the drawings that I've been doing recently, it just hasn't had the same effect. I think one of the biggest problems is just the colors, because obviously if I'm trying to create a very believable background, there are going to be a multitude of colors, and usually when I'm drawing, like I've already stated, it's usually like one or two characters, and usually when I design characters they have one or two colors, so everything looks very cohesive. But obviously in a background, some things have to look more believable. Like I'm not going to paint the sky like a light pink because everything else is pink in the picture, just because even though yes it would match the color palette, I also want it to be believable and like surreal in a sense. So that's what I've been battling with, and you'll see it especially when I start painting the window. I regret that choice so much. I was trying to make the window like a more greenish blue because like red and green are complementary colors and I thought it would look nice. And I also had like a more cooler green for the accents on the character, but it just didn't work out, and now it looks weird and now it looks surreal, like the thing that I was talking about. So I guess I failed on that front. But the thing is that I tried on this background. I tried very, very hard. The key for me to make my backgrounds like less sucky and to make it more integral to like the picture is to mainly think of the background first, like sketch the background first and then add the character, and then I'll have a slightly easier time working on it. And like I did a lot of prep for this background. It's so simple and you don't even see most of it because the counter is in the way, but like I've built like a whole Minecraft set. And I'm not even joking. I legitimately made a Minecraft set for this room to have a better idea of the proportions, and I'll leave a picture on screen because I like legitimately did that to try and help me like figure out how I wanted to do this. So yeah, at the end of the day, about my weaknesses, I think the main thing is that I've made progress or I've learned something from doing these, and it's honestly, I feel like backgrounds are something that I'm just gonna have to continuously work at until I feel more comfortable with it, because I can't have a show without a setting. I mean, you could, but it wouldn't be a very fun show for like the stories that I'm trying to tell. Like I can't have a storybook with no backgrounds whatsoever. I can't have a comic with no setting whatsoever. So this is just one of those things that just because I don't enjoy it doesn't mean I shouldn't or I can avoid doing it. I'm going to have to learn how to do it and get more comfortable with it, which is why I've been trying a lot harder to just put more things in my drawing, have it have more meat, more substance, more quality than just like a character standing on like a flat color, you know? So that's what I've really been trying to work at, and I want to continue doing so. Something that has helped me with trying to make more settings and become more comfortable with backgrounds is making tiny little comics for my own characters. So obviously, like I've already stated like a billion times, I'm a character-oriented artist. That is what I like to do. That's my comfort zone. So if I design a house around my character, or I design like something that would go into my character's world, that's easier for me to do. But I just don't want to draw a park, you know? So I'll draw my characters in the park doing something. So if I want to learn how I'd want let's say for instance Strawberry's house to look, I'll have Orange visiting, and then she'll walk through the front door. There we go. That means I have to draw the entrance. And then she's walking through the house. That means I have to draw the living room, and etc. and etc. And even though these backgrounds might not look the best, obviously, because again, I'm working at it, it's a start and it's improvement. And that's mainly what I want to see, and that's really what I want to do. I just want to improve on my storytelling, because at the end of the day, that's what I am. If I couldn't draw, I'd still tell stories and I'd still have these characters. So the background is just still integral to it. So thank you so much for listening to my troubles and my flaws and the work that I'm trying to do as an artist. Let me know if you also struggle with backgrounds. I know a lot of younger artists or like beginner artists really struggle with backgrounds, especially if they love doing characters. So tell me what you're trying to do to combat that if you are, and give me some tips that have helped you out. So thank you for watching this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, and yeah, that's mainly like the only social media I have. Make sure to follow me on Instagram. Obviously subscribe, and if you want to see some of my favorite arts on a t-shirt or a sticker or a pin, you can go to my Redbubble, and the link is in the bio. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.